We are almost at closing arguments at the New York Trump, Stormy Daniels, Michael Cohen trial, fraud, show trial under Alvin Bragg and Juan Merchan. Well, Alina Habba weighs in on how just the very basics of the case still haven't been established. They still haven't named a crime for Trump. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the Happy Patriots are. We're just going to give you some quick backfill on the details of where we're at, how it's just about to be wrapped up. Alina Habba thinks Michael Cohen, this will be his last. His testimony will be the end of the whole case. Let's watch.
I said, Michael, the way this works is if you have truthful information about Donald Trump, that's clearly what they're looking for, I can have all your legal problems solved by the end of the week. His response, I swear to God, Bob, I don't have anything on Donald Trump.
Now that's Robert Costello. That is Michael Cohen's old lawyer, his old attorney. So he had attorney-client privilege with Cohen. And he said, do you have anything on Donald Trump? And Michael Cohen told him privately, no, I have nothing on Donald Trump. They need to get this guy in the courtroom. And this is the kind of guy that Merchan will prevent from testifying before that jury.
I said, Michael, I want you to think carefully about this. I probably came back to this subject 10 or 20 times during the 2-hour period. Every time I brought it up, every time he answered, I swear to God, Bob, I don't have anything on Donald Trump.
Alina Habba is former President Trump's legal spokesperson, and she joins us now. Alina, thank you for being here. If the defense can get Bob Costello on the stand to say that, what he said yesterday, isn't this case officially over?
Yes, it would be over. But even then, Alina Habba is saying, you don't even need that. She goes, it's over before it's even over.
Not sure it really should have begun. I think the case, frankly, is already over. And I don't think it hinges on Bob Costello's testimony, I'll be frank. They haven't proved essential elements of the crime that is at hand.
So if they haven't ever, that's the thing that you'll see all the legal experts say over and over again. They never say what the original crime is that Trump is allegedly covering up. It's the cover up that takes it up to a felony instead of a misdemeanor in Alvin Bragg's eyes. So they're having the hardest time because it's a cover up and they never mention what he initially was trying to cover up. So that crime, you have to cover up a crime. You can't just cover up any old thing. They will not name the crime.
What they've done is created a lot of noise and a lot of distractions for the American people, given you some salacious stories.
And that's really all you need to win a trial is just confuse the jury. Just throw a bunch of detail at them, throw a bunch of Stormy Daniels stuff at them, just say in general, Trump looks bad. And then if his team is too explosive or rude to the judge, the jury might just go, yeah, he's kind of bad. We find him guilty. It only takes one jury to protect Trump for him to get off the hook on this thing. So hope for one jury to have a conscience in New York. There might be just one person in all of New York who has a conscience.
But don't forget what this is. This is about how they booked something at Trump Tower in the accounting department, whether they should have put legal expense. That's it.
Yeah, so this is all just a paperwork argument, and we don't care about any of the other salacious stuff. By the way, something that many other companies and individuals in New York have done, and they were not found guilty. So only Trump is the one. He's going to get slandered with a felony purely for election purposes.
This case is really simply about a paperwork. They say error. Other people would say not even error because Michael Cohen was Trump's lawyer and he filed it under a legal expense. So that would be just like an administrative detail that has risen to the level of 34 felony counts. But there has been so much that has been brought into this case. And legal experts say that it is done to confuse jurors. So
yeah, if you can't win a case, just confuse the jurors. That's as best as they can hope for against Trump.
I think that closing arguments are a critical point. I think there's another thing that's critical, which is the jury instructions. My concern is that when you have a trial where there is so much confusing information, even with an instruction, if the instruction is not done, and that's always a back and forth between the attorneys and the judge to get that done, if it's not perfectly done, if it's not done clearly, and if the instructions mislead the jury, you can have a devastating result. So,
like for instance, the judge, most of that Stormy Daniels stuff needs to be thrown out. And the judge would have to say, look, I let her go too far in her testimony. and you're not allowed to have certain aspects of that influence your decision. Now, everyone knows if you've ever been on a jury, if you've ever heard something you're not supposed to hear, you can't unhear stuff. So that's what they're hoping for on the Merchan side of things. Trump's side of things, again, like I said, they just need one juror. Do you think they will find one juror out of 12, like the 12 angry men? Will they find one juror out of 12 that has a conscience, that's not politicized, that's willing to say this whole thing is a sham? Let me know in the comments below and subscribe. I'm Doug in Exile.